Hi students, welcome you all for the 8th session of 3rd chapter of Human Resource Management. In this session we are going to discuss in detail regarding interview, one of the very important selection process in every organization, that is interview. So we are going to discuss what is the meaning of interview, process of interview, then types of interview. This is what the presentation is. So let's discuss the interview and its meaning. So, as I told you earlier, interview is a common practice in every organization during their selection process. Without interview, I don't think so any organization will select a candidate. So it is one-to-one conversation between interviewer and interviewee, where one person asks questions and another person provides the answer. Usually it is a face-to-face discussion, we say. So where the interviewer will ask some questions, okay, and the interviewee has to answer the questions promptly or in whatever way he feels that he is comfortable. So but he has to provide the answers so that his interest, his various skills, his various qualifications, his various hidden talents can be explored. So process of interview. So there is a simple process here. One is before the interview. So before the interview, what the company has to do is they have to prepare interview setup. Okay, one room should be there where there will be place for interviewer and there will be a place for interviewee. There should be a good setup. So then what are the questions to be asked? Everything has to be prepared. Then during the interview, so here the interview has started. So during the interview, one has to do? Okay, so they have to do their job. They have to analyze the candidate. They have to prepare the questions which are suitable for the candidate. So other interviewers also should ask their doubts. They have to clarify. Then closing the interview. So here interview will be closed by closing remarks, maybe by concluding or maybe by uh, interviewer asking the interviewee to conclude or closing remarks by the interviewer. So except through these ways interview can be concluded. Then after the interview, so after the interview the team will sit together and discuss and analyze whether this candidate is suitable or not. So this is the process of interview. Now let us discuss the types of interview. The first one, preliminary interview. So as the meaning is there in the word itself, preliminary, in the sense it is done before the actual interview starts. So it's conducted to check whether the candidates having necessary qualification or not. So first of all, the candidate should have necessary qualification before he can attend the selection process. If he is not qualified, then the entire process become waste because he is not qualified. He is not at all suitable for that job. So the preliminary interview, the qualification, other details has to be verified. Then panel interview. So it's a panel interview means there will be a panel members. So in this type of there will be more than one interviewer. Okay, there will not be one interviewee. There will be more than one interviewer where they will ask questions one after another to the interviewee, and the interviewer has to provide the prompt answers. So there will be a group of people interviewing the candidate. So candidate will have to ask all the answers to all the people. He cannot be selective here. So behavior interview. So what is behavioral interview? So behavior is the best predictor of your future, or behavior is the best predictor of your personality, we say. So behavior interview is done to predict as personality of the candidate, whether he is rough and tough, whether he is slow and steady, whether he is smart enough. All these things are checked. So it is conducted to know how the candidates behave in the different situations. Then case interview. So case interview is an interview where the interviewer will be given some problems and asked to solve it. So interviewer will give some problems to the interviewee and he has to solve it, and immediately he has to give the answer to the interviewer. So through the logical, analytical and problem solving skills, the recruitment can find out who is having better skills, who is having very good analytical skill, who is having very good logical skill. All these things can be identified. Then group interview. So group interview means it is a group. So your group of people come together and ask questions to the interviewer. So here is a group of people are interviewed at a time. Stress interview. Stress interview means creating the stress, unnecessary stress in the interviewee so that he is not comfortable. So here what the interview is, it is done to see how you handle the yourself and your pressure. So one important thing for a company is to handling the pressure, how we are able to handle the pressure. So that is tested through stress interview. The interviewer may be sarcastic or argumentative. You may ask unrelated questions, or you may make the interview to stress so much that you will lose the track while asking the questions. The candidate should answer calmly each question. So he cannot get angry, he cannot get emotional, all these things he has to be very careful. Then sequential interview. What is sequential interview? So sequential interview means a series of questions, and series of interviews will happen one after another. It's called as sequential interview. Then telephone interview. So telephone interview is very simple one. So interview is done by using telephone as a media. Then exit interview. This interview is done to all the employees who are departed from the present job. So it is conducted when the employee is leaving the present job. Then structured interviews. So structured interview in the sense here everything is structured. So from asking questions, a room is structured, table, everything is set up properly. So it is an organized way of interview. The series of questions are prepared in advance by the superior. Then unstructured interview. So unstructured in the sense it is not structured. Anytime you can conduct the interview. So there need not be any platform, there need not be any questions. So interview does not follow any formal rules or procedure of interview. So it's an informal interview. So that's all from this session. Thank you for watching this video.